Hi guys, we're gonna do puff pastry today, and I have been trying to get on TikTok and I just cannot do it. So I don't want to keep my butter out, so I want to get started, and then I'll try to play with TikTok and see if I can't get something going. Okay, so in my bowl I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, all-purpose. And then you're going to need a cup of butter, so that's 2 sticks. I'm using salted butter. If you use unsalted butter, you'd put a teaspoon of salt in, but I won't be using that because I have salted. So the first thing I want to do is unwrap this. Okay, so cut your butter into quarters here, and then just little chunks, and then put them into your flour. You can use these for cookies, which I make Lady Locks all the time. So you can use these for turnovers. You can beef Wellington, Danishes, whatever you choose to do with it. So. Now, you are going to get your hands really dirty with this, so just FYI. It's almost like you're making a pie crust, but you're not. We are bracing for a storm. And if we get it here in Myrtle Beach, it will shut the city down. Because we have no salt trucks, we have nothing here. So, okay. So that's that. This is what it'll look like. So then you're just going to start smushing the butter into the flour. It's going to take a little bit. So just keep getting in there with your fingers and just keep squishing it. Now, after you make this, you have to let it set for 30 minutes. I already have another one ready, so I will go over to the fridge and pull it out, and then we'll get started. So anyway, you just keep doing this. Just keep breaking down that butter with your fingers. So if you don't use salted butter, you would need salt. So it's just 4 ingredients. And your fingers will get a little tired, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. In the end, it'll be worth it. Just keep crumbling. I don't know who's on here. Maybe Tanya, my sister-in-law. I think that might be her. I can't see the icon. Yep. Hi, sis. Thanks for trying to talk me how to get onto TikTok. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out someday. Okay, so just keep crumbling and get that butter. You're going to break that butter down. Now you have to use real butter for this. You can't use margarine. And if you don't want to buy butter at the store, yeah, maybe someday I'll get it. If you don't want to buy butter at the store, in one of my old clips, I showed you how to make real butter with one ingredient. So, and then you'll have, remember, if you do that, you'll have buttermilk left over if you make the homemade. So just keep crushing, crushing, crushing. It almost feels like sand, like gritty. So just keep breaking that butter up. And it should look like that. Just like that. Okay? And no, I don't have an apron on. I should, but I don't. Okay. And then I have some ice water here. My last batch took about 1/4 of a cup, so this is 1/4 of a cup. I'm just going to drizzle some in here. I didn't use it all because I want to make sure, because I don't want to get it too wet. And I won't use all of it. I can tell right now that it's good. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of flour in here. Okay. Then once you get it all incorporated, scoot that out of the way. Put it on your surface. Scrape it all out. Get your fingers cleaned off. And then you're going to knead it. Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So you just push it down and pull it back to you for 2 minutes. As you can see, that butter is starting to... I'm going to put a little bit of flour in here. So just keep working it with your hands. You noticed I put a little bit of flour down so it wouldn't stick on the counter. So if you get a little bit on the counter and it sticks, just put a little dusting down. So usually when you make puff dough, you laminate it with butter. And you have your dough and you put your brick of butter in. This here you should be able just to go. After it sets for 30 minutes, you should be able to just go with it. Oh, guess I should my shirt. Okay, we're almost there. So about, when it gets to about 20 seconds, I just kind of get it in a circle. Get those fingers cleaned off. Alexa, stop. And that's it. There's your dough. So, I have a piece of saran wrap here. I'm just gonna, and in the fridge this goes, and I'll pull out my other one. 1 minute. Okay, guys. So while I was waiting on my dough to chill, I made apples. So this is 4 apples cut up into little chunks, and I put 4 tablespoons of butter, about a cup of sugar, and 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I brought it to a boil, and then I took you remember yesterday whenever I made the chicken where I made a slurry with cornstarch? So I put a teaspoon of cornstarch into a little bowl with some ice water, and I made a slurry. And then after I made the slurry, I brought this to a boil, and I poured the cornstarch in it so it gels just like you would buy apple filling in a jar or in a can. So this is homemade. All right. So let's get some flour out here. Get this open. So this is 30 minutes. Look, see how hard it is? So now, the big chore is getting it rolled out. Okay. Let me get this slathered up. Okay. So this is going to take some muscles. Hey, Joni, how are you? I should have set this out for a minute. But you want it cold. I'm making puff pastry, Joni. So I'm going to say it again. If you guys see something on my Facebook page, because Facebook's only leaving your videos up for 30 days, and then they're pulling them down, the only way I know that they will stay on there is if maybe you like and share them and save it to your page. I don't know. But I am going to get an apron. Well, this is going to be a workout. Yes, I'm using my muscles. This puff dough is cold. So, okay. It's starting to warm up though. So, you don't have to make the homemade pie filling. If you have pie filling, if you have cream cheese, you can just do some cream cheese with some vanilla and a little bit of powdered sugar and whip it up and make it like a cream cheese type thing. Put some chocolate chips in it, whatever you want. You can do sausage balls. You can do, they use puff pastry for a lot of things. There it goes. It's a working. You just got to get that butter moving. One more flip, maybe. One more flip. Now I'm just going to use a pizza cutter, y'all. These are good pizza cutters. This is from my bakery. Actually, I'm going to roll that out just a little bit more. Okay, let's square this baby off. But we're going to, don't worry, we're going to use those. We're going to use it all. Okay. Looks good to me. So, let's see. I'm gonna probably my finger and go straight up. Let's see here. You guys can cut it however you want. I have to have perfect. Okay. So here's my homemade apples. So I'm just going to put them in there. They're kind of a little bit still warm, so. If you let this set up in the refrigerator, it would be like opening up a can of apples from the store. Okay. Let's get a little bit more in that one. All right. Just pinch off the edges and you have a nice size turnover. There's none. And one more. Okay, that's 4. And then we have this much dough left, so I don't have my pins out here, but I could show you. I don't want to leave and walk away too much. So let me see here. If I had something I can show you. Okay. So I have Lady Lock pins and they're stainless steel. So some people may not know what a Lady Lock is. They are a Pennsylvania cookie. They're like a miniature cream horn and you fill them with icing. And you have stainless steel pins. If I could reach them, I would, but I can't reach have to get Big Terry or Little Terry out here to get them. And I don't think either one of them want to come on camera. I actually think they're behind me in my, but they're above. Hold on. Trust the ladder. Voila. I happened to look over and saw my ladder was in the kitchen, so that's a good thing. These are my Lady Lock pens. Best cookie ever. Some people on here has had them. And some haven't, but trust me when I tell you, they are a delicious, delicious cookie. So I'm going to cut this off and I'll show you how I roll them. I'm on live, bud. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay. So just like a 1/2 inch strip. Now, if you don't want to do all this, you can go to the store and buy puff pastry. You don't have to do all this. And you can get the same product out of it as well. But if you don't have time to make it, then go buy it. Okay, we'll stop there. So, you grab your Lady Lock pen. The bottom part is wider than the top part. You start at the top at the narrow, and you kind of go down at an angle. And there's your Lady Lock. So I'm just going to put those on the pan with the turnovers that I just made. If your dough breaks, you just push it back together with your finger. It's not a big, like that. See how it broke? Just push it back. It's not a big deal. And you still get the same thing. We used to make, well, the girls in my shop, they would come to work and they would say to Big Terry, "What are we doing today?" And he would say, "I need 500 Lady Locks." No joke. No joke. So anyway, those are Lady Locks. I'm going to roll this back out and finish these turnovers. The twins will be here tomorrow. They call them Goldilocks. They have since they were babies. So I have icing in the refrigerator, so they'll fill these up when they get here. Now, if you do a Lady Lock, as soon as they come out of the oven, they'll be like a golden brown. Grab a paper towel on this end. Hold it with this end with a paper towel and another paper towel here, and this just slides off. You have to take these off while it is hot. So the best way is 2 paper towels. Here and here. You just put your paper towel over this and pull on this, put it back in your container if you have the aluminum ones. There's people that take, I know some people that have the round wooden clothespins, and they just wrap them up in foil, and that's what they use. But these are from my shop, so I kept lots of stuff from my shop. So, all right, let's get this rolled back out. So if you guys are just jumping on here, we made puff pastry dough. It's 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of very cold butter. If you use salted butter, no salt. If you use unsalted roll butter, you need a teaspoon of salt, and almost 1/4 of a cup of very, very cold water. And like I said, you don't have to make homemade apples like I did. You can buy canned stuff. You can do whatever you want to do. This is just the way I do it, so. I mean, I have bought canned apples. Big Terry does not prefer them. He likes it when I starch my fruit. So, Thanksgiving, I made an apple pie. I made one for Christmas too, but for Thanksgiving, I made apple pie. And I didn't starch my apples. I mean, it turned out. But he noticed, and he said, "You didn't starch your apples." I said, "Nope, I just did them and put them in there." I guess when you've been married almost 47 years, he knows when I do a shortcut, I think. I think we're going to get 2 out of this. Might be a little bit smaller than the other ones, but that's all right. Gotta square it off. Can't have it oblong. Okay. You can see how thick this is. Okay. Oh yeah, that pie filling's still warm. I can feel it on my fingers. Okay, guys, I have a little bit of dough left, so I will make these into more lady locks for the grandkids. So there's your turnovers, homemade turnover dough. There's your lady locks. Next thing you want to do is put some breather holes in here. Let me get my scissors. My kitchen scissors. So probably maybe 3. Thanks, sis. That way they, oh, I forgot this one. That way they have some breathing. Let me get a little bit of sugar. I like to put sugar on the top. And cinnamon. I don't like to use egg wash. I'm not real big on egg wash. Never have been. Come on. There it comes. I need to fill this up. Get my big container down and fill it up. Okay, guys. So these are going to go in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. Hey, Kevin. And they'll puff up I'll take a picture and show you when they come out of the oven. Like I said, it's a real simple recipe. You don't have to starch your apples like I did. If you want to, I used 4 apples, a cup of sugar, I think it was 2 tablespoons of butter, and 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then I made it to a rolling boil. And then I did a slurry with cornstarch. It wasn't real runny like water. It was a little bit thicker. I put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and a little bit of, you have to use cold water or it will not work. And I made a slurry. While it was boiling, I poured the slurry into the apples and it'll thicken up just like that. So if you want to make it homemade, you can. And that's with any fruit. Any fruit, you can do that. And then the recipe again, I'll do it one more time. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of butter, salted or unsalted, real butter, and a teaspoon of salt. You only need the salt if you use unsalted real butter. 1/4 of a cup, almost 1/4 of a cup of ice cold water. And what I do is just put water in here with some ice. And then the first batch, I used 1/4 of a cup. The second batch that I did on here, it only took maybe, I probably had 1/4 of an inch left in here. So it did not take the 1/4 of a cup. So that's all I'm going to do today. And hopefully, sis, I can get on TikTok. We'll see. I'll come back on here. I'll post my recipe and a picture of the turnovers. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.